All right, let's keep cranking through these. Quadratic function with leading coefficient 1, make that correction, has a 0 at x equals 2 plus I. We want to sketch the quadratic function and write the equation in vertex form. So, first off, if we have a solution at x equals 2 plus I, we also have a solution at the conjugate x equals 2 minus I, which means we know two factors. We know one factor is x minus 2 minus I, and another factor is x minus 2 plus I. All right, well, we know the leading coefficient is 1, so we know we're going to have a 1 out front, which is unnecessary to write, but this is the equation of the quadratic. Problem is, it looks kind of gross with all those i's in there, so we want to expand this. Couple ways to do that. One way is just go piece by piece. X times x is x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. X times I is xi. Okay, that's my x distributed to everything in the right. Now distribute that negative 2 to everything. Negative 2 times x is a negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Negative 2 times I is minus 2i. So we've now distributed the negative 2 to everything in the right. Now let's distribute this negative I to everything. Negative I times x is negative xi. Negative I times negative 2 is negative 2i. Lies. Negative I times negative 2 is positive 2i. And then negative I times I is negative I squared. So that looks long and disgusting, but since we're dealing with conjugates, tons of stuff cancels out. Notice we have a positive xi and a negative xi, so those will say goodbye. Notice that we have a negative 2i and a positive 2i, so those will also say goodbye. Notice we have a negative 2x and another negative 2x. Those will say hello to give us x squared minus 4x. And then notice we have a plus 4 hiding in there. And we also have a minus I squared. But that is saying minus I squared, you should remember, is negative 1. Minus negative 1 is plus 1. So plus 4 plus 1 is plus 5. So that disgusting thing actually is just this pretty little quadratic in disguise. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 5. So let's go ahead and complete the square to get this into vertex form. So y equals x minus 2 squared plus 5. How do I adjust it? Well, minus 2 squared is positive 4, so I've added 4, so I need to subtract 4. And so I get y equals x minus 2 squared plus 1. And that is my equation in vertex form, telling me my vertex is at negative 2, positive 1. If you look at the factored equation we started with, x minus 2 minus I times x minus 2 plus I, if you're savvy and you notice the patterns here, you can go straight from that disgusting factored complex form to vertex form if you are very, very tricky. If not, just multiply it out and cancel all the stuff that cancels. Sweet. And we get where we get. So let's graph it. X minus 2 plus 1 is telling me boom, boom, boom. There's my vertex. Positive 1, so if I go over 1, I'm up 1. Over 1 in that direction, I'm up 1. There's my 3 points, and there is my quadratic function. Finished.